let's talk about UFOs. Oh, yeah, it's getting good. So I don't know if everyone remembers, but there was a whistleblower that came forward recently to talk about UFOs and UFO, programs that he said was being hidden from Congress. Now, Dontel, you guys know him as Unapologetic. He has a show on YouTube, but he also has a Substack. He actually wrote about this. I want to get into this, and then we're going to get into a couple of clips. Dontel said Senators Schumer and Gillibrand put out explosive new UFO laws. So I think for those of you who are into the unknown, or curious about it like I am, you might appreciate this. That's right. Chuck Schumer and Kirsten Gillibrand actually have put out legislation to declassify UFO info. Let's get into it. Over a month ago, whistleblower David Grush revealed to journalists, let me make this bigger. Okay. Over a month ago, whistleblower David Grush revealed to journalists that he has provided classified evidence as part of multiple government investigations into the allegations that there is an illegal government program to retrieve and reverse engineer UFOs. All the documents, interviews with witnesses who currently work in this program, locations of the bases, the names of current and former leaders, as well as everything else provided to investigators are still hidden behind the secrecy of classification until Congress or the president declassifies this information. We cannot judge for certain if this evidence is true. But the unprecedented reactions from anyone with the clearance to examine the evidence only adds to the credibility of Grush's story. Historic pieces of legislation on UFOs are moving through both the House and Congress, attached to the must-pass defense spending bill. So this is the biggie. This was actually pretty smart. They attached it to the defense spending bill. So if they want to pass that defense spending bill, then this is included along with it. So this would also pass. Just yesterday, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer introduced a bill to have the National Archive and Records Administration compile all documents on UFOs and prepare them for declassification immediately. That's the big part. Not a year from now, not by 2026, immediately. A review board of 9 members appointed by the president, then confirmed by the Senate, will create a timetable to publish all information on UFOs, on UFOs, unless they provide a reason. The release of a document will comprise national security. When asked about the bill, Chuck Schumer said the American people have a right to learn about technologies of unknown origins, non-human intelligence, and unexplainable phenomena. We have the right to learn and know about it. Get ready, guys. Get ready. We are not only working to declassify what the government has previously learned about the phenomena, but to create a pipeline for future research to be made public. This is huge. Can you imagine all the information that has been hidden from us? I know some of you don't believe in UFOs or extraterrestrials, and I get it. But I just feel the universe, again, is too vast for us to be the only ones. And I want to know what's out there. And I don't want to get on the spaceship to try to find out. So if there's information that has been, classified that we have no idea what that information is, this could make it so that we now have the right to know. And I want to go into this clip here from News Nation.
And breaking news tonight from Capitol Hill, Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer says he will introduce new legislation to declassify government records related to UFOs and UAPs. That is a big deal, and this just came down within the last couple of minutes. And it comes as things are really starting to take shape for the UFO hearings on Capitol Hill, with House leadership just today confirming that they are tentatively scheduled for the end of this month. The hearings will be happening in just a couple of weeks. But those in charge of the hearings have been tight-lipped about the witnesses that they plan to call, even telling us that the Pentagon has already begun running interference on the possible whistleblowers. More on that in just a moment. The announcement about the timing of the hearings comes after our reports here on News Nation, straight from whistleblowers who came forward with new evidence and allegations that the government knows more than it's telling us about alien vehicles and aircraft, UFOs, known in government lingo as unidentified aerial phenomena.
That the government knows more than what they are telling us. And that does not surprise me. I've felt that way for quite some time. What's really happening at Area 54? Someone told me that's where all the McDonald's ice cream machines go because they're always broken. I don't know if you guys have ever tried to get ice cream from McDonald's, but it seems like every time you try to, they're like, oh, can I get an ice cream cone? We can't. The ice cream machine is broken. Every time? For my whole life? Or 51, sorry. Did I say 54? Area 51, sorry. Yeah, I want to know what's there. Studio 54. That's what I was thinking of, Daddy. Yeah. I want to know. I'm curious. I'm nosy. I want to see all of it. Not just what has been revealed recently, but I want to see the Roswell files. I want to know what happened. I want to be Scully, damn it. Let's go back in.
Those whistleblowers include Air Force veteran and former military intelligence officer David Grush.
These are retrieving non-human origin technical vehicles, call it spacecraft if you will, non-human, exotic origin vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
Those claims getting serious traction. Here is Oversight Chair James Comer confirming the hearings to News Nation just today.
Now, remember, he said those are vehicles that have either landed or crashed.
Yeah, we're going to try to get that in this month. I will tell you this, I've been surprised at the number of questions I've received on that hearing. So I think there's a lot of interest. There's certainly a lot of curiosity out there about that issue. And with what we're seeing with the majority of Americans right now, there's absolutely no trust or confidence in the government right now. So I think that has the potential to be a pretty sensitive subcommittee hearing.
No trust in the government. He's right about that. He is right about that.
And one of the leaders of those hearings will be Representative Tim Burchett of Tennessee, who we had on the show this week. I really tried to press him on who he has lined up to go before the subcommittee to give evidence of what he alleges is a government cover-up of UFO evidence. I know you don't want to give away much. Can you give us just a little hint of what to expect with the hearings? I mean, do you have multiple people lined up at this point?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, I would hope, a half a dozen people. We're going to have some people that I would hope from the scientific community. We're going to hopefully have some pilots. We're going to have some whistleblowers, some others. But, as soon as I announce that the Pentagon puts a squeeze on them, which they've already started with some of them.
Why is the Pentagon trying to do that? Think about this, guy. Why is the Pentagon already trying to, as he put it, put the squeeze on it? What is it that the Pentagon doesn't want the American people to hear? Remember, when they have these hearings are recorded, just like we saw like the FBI director testimony, right? What are they afraid of? Are they afraid people may panic? Is that why they've been hiding information from us?
Are alleged witnesses, so we're going to keep it pretty close to the cuff, and then when we release it, it'll be public record to everybody, because I'm not going to play the secret game.
So who exactly could be coming to Washington and giving sworn testimony about UFOs, and how concerned should they actually be? Joining me now, Jeremy Corbell, investigative journalist and co-host of the Weaponized podcast. He obtained and released the military-filmed Pentagon-confirmed UFO videos that put into motion the first congressional hearings on UFOs in over 50 years.
If you guys know how to reach this guy, I could maybe invite him on. I couldn't find contact info for him either.
Jeremy, let me first ask you about this. I'm going to read the tweet because Senator Schumer just put this out a little while ago. I'm introducing new legislation to declassify government records related to unidentified anomalous phenomena and UFOs as an amendment to the NDAA modeled after the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act. Jeremy, how big of a deal is this?
It's a huge deal. It's a bipartisan measure to force the release of UFO records. And we're really living in a different time. As Representative Burchett said, we are over the target when it comes to this issue. And that is why we are seeing pushback. I can tell you from an inside look that we are seeing two types of pushback. First of all, defense contractors, they have...
Before we get to that part, I just want to go back to the text because I don't know if you had a chance to read this. So Jeremy Corbell obtained and released Pentagon confirmed UFO videos. Only civilians specifically named in the opening of the congressional UFO hearing. He's the co-host of the investigative series Weaponized, featuring evidence related to UFO science and cover-ups. Like I said, if you guys know how to reach this dude, let me know. But I am very curious. I saw one of the comments. I don't know what's in that safe. One of you like, what's in that safe behind him? I don't know. Maybe it's an alien.
We are seeing two types of pushback. First of all, defense contractors, they have lobbying power. And this is an issue when you're asking to see the goodies. There's also turf wars by congressional staff. You know, how, when, who is testifying. This is a question that everybody's trying to figure out because these are coming up. So look, Representative Burchett wants first-hand witnesses, not bureaucrats like last time. So that's the difference that we're seeing now. You know, this is simple. It's not complicated. Direct witnesses are ready to roll. They just need to be told the date.
Thank you for watching.
You guys heard that? I told you, people are ready. They're not backing down. They're ready to talk about what they've seen. And here's the thing. I know a lot of people are just like, it could be anything in the sky. It doesn't mean that it's like extraterrestrial or whatever. Cool. But then tell us what it is. And that's the thing. They don't even tell you what it is if it's not that. You know, what are they hiding from us? Now, I want to show you this clip here. Does the government know more about UFOs than it's saying? Let's get to this clip because I think this is very telling. And honestly, I don't think they would tell us. Do you guys?
So, Joe, did these numbers surprise you?
Honestly, no, not surprising to me. And so we're learning a lot about how the American public feels as it relates to UAPs and whistleblowers.
Sorry, you didn't see that percentage part. I just want to make sure you saw that. The poll is 57% believe the U.S. government is hiding UFO info.
So, Joe, did these numbers surprise you?
Honestly, no, not surprising to me. And so we're learning a lot about how the American public feels as it relates to UAPs and whistleblowers. We're also going to be learning more about how Congress feels, because one of those, imagine 57% of Americans, is Congressman Tim Burchett, who spoke to News Nation earlier today. He has been on a crusade to try to get the Pentagon and the Department of Defense to release more of their files, to declassify reports about UAPs as it relates to whistleblower claims, and to release videos that they allegedly have showing some of these aircraft in the air. And one of the ways he's doing that is by planning a congressional hearing, which you heard about first here on News Nation. We broke.
So they're talking about the congressional hearing, which we just talked about before this video. But he's talking about, you know, releasing these videos of the objects flying through the air. I think we've seen a lot of videos of UFOs flying in the air over the years, right? I think what people want to see are these vehicles that, according to Grush, have actually landed and crashed. I think people want to see video footage of that so you can see it close up and people try to figure, you know, what does it look like close up? I don't really need to see another video of a dot flying in the air. You know what I mean? Like, we wanted to see it like more close up. So I'd be curious to see those pictures and the videos of those vehicles that actually landed or crashed, like Grush was referring to. And it'll be really interesting to see if these witnesses are ready to go, like he said they are ready to come forward. It'll be really interesting to see what they're going to show if they have pictures or they have videos. That's what I'm ready for. Bring it, honey, bring it.
This news, he and a couple of others are planning this sort of first of its kind hearing focusing on UAP whistleblowers. Sources confirmed to us even today that they are still now in the planning stages for this hearing. I should mention our sources emphasize that nothing is set in stone yet, but the plan and the hope from lawmakers pushing this is sometime by the end of this month or early next month. They wanted to have a field hearing. There was discussion around having it not here in the Capitol, but rather in Florida. Again, nothing confirmed at this point. But Burchett this morning says it's time that a lot of these military whistleblowers, especially those who are flying planes for the U.S. military, need to be heard.
If you talk to some of the best pilots in the world and they tell you that they've seen these objects, and then when they do report it, they get interrogated for like up to 8 hours and they get a blemish on their record. So I've talked to pilots who've lived.
Isn't that crazy? See, I wanted you guys to hear that. Pilots who have reported seeing UFOs, and again, that doesn't mean they saw an alien. That just means unidentified flying objects, have reported that they're basically being punished for reporting it. Isn't that interesting?
Literally said, we've destroyed any evidence of these videos because we don't want to have to go through all that. We've seen it. We all talk about it.
Now, I think it's worth reminding the public about the claims that David Grush has made, former Air Force intel officer, when he came forward on our network. His claim was that there is a program within the government that is designed to retrieve crashed UAPs, which, in his words, what he is hearing, don't appear to be made by human hands.
Okay, let's pause on that part. David said there is a program by the government, and that is their sole duty is to go out there and to retrieve those UFO vehicles. Now, David would have to provide some receipts, obviously, but don't you guys question the timing of Chuck Schumer and Gillibrand pushing the legislation to declassify UFO info? Connected to this, the whistleblower comes forward. Now it says, okay, let's go ahead and we got to push to declassify all that information. Why would they do that if it was something that they felt, and not saying that they know, but why would they feel the need and the push to do that? Because there is a whistleblower, and apparently there's other witnesses as well that are ready to come forward at this hearing and testify. Let's go on.
Now, here's the new polling done by Newsweek that you referenced off the top here, showing, again, 57% of registered voters believe that the government knows more or has more about UAPs than they are letting on. So as the issue gets more coverage, clearly it's making an impact on people's opinions and people's views of this. Whether that moves the Pentagon and the DOD to declassify and release some of this information, Kelly, that remains to be seen right now.
Thank you for watching.
And if it's not an issue, why is the Pentagon getting involved in trying to stop it? Trying to stop you from seeing that information? I know what some of you are thinking. I'm just sitting here thinking to myself, I've been wondering for quite some time, but I believe that those people should be allowed to come forward. And if it is a hoax and they're just BSing and all that jazz, then so be it. Let that be revealed then. But I want to know. Giovanni says, ask yourself why their declassification is happening today after 60 years of violent hiding. These are like, it's a good question. Miss Mississippi says this is a distraction. I'm sorry, Miss Mississippi. I'm curious about things that I think the government's hiding. Brian says, why are they telling us this stuff now? It has to be part of a psyop. This is the question a lot of people are asking. Thank you for the super chat, Oz. I trust Chucky like Pfizer never UFO is a distraction. Thank you, Anthony. DJ Dark Journalist Danny for UFO info in Cambridge. DJ Dark Journalist Danny for UFO info in Cambridge. Were you trying to send me the email, an email address, Anthony? I'll look that up. JT, Sabby, you need to talk to Dr. Stephen Greer from the Disclosure Project. There's another person I could reach out to. Thank you for the super chat, Ronwell. Off topic, but thanks for discussing SAG-AFTRA strike on RBN that I DM'd you about this child celebrity who I'm a huge fan of. Thank you for that, Ronwell. Thank you, Hector. Don't have this guy, Jeremy, on Sabby. He has been totally and completely been debunked. What a cute little dog. I love the doggy little picture. Oh, it's so cute. Cute little pup. I saw a show today. It's this new show on Netflix called Thickness. The Thick Chick or something. Anyway, Thick something. I forget. It's saved somewhere. Anyhow, in one of the episodes, I actually saw a dog wedding. Did you know that dogs can get married? This is something apparently rich people do where they bring their dog. Anyway, thank you for that, Hector. Eccentric case. If it's unidentified, how would they know what it is? But that's the thing. I think they do know. I think they do know what these things are. Thank you, Simply. For alien stuff, I would implore you to look at Dr. Stephen Greer's work. Another one for Stephen Greer. The PSYOP is that they want to stage an intergalactic war. They already copied UFOs. Ooh. And thank you for the super chat, JT. Talk to Dr. Stephen Greer. Okay, that's 3 for Stephen Greer. And thank you, FWC. UFO can be true and still be a PSYOP. It's a good point. Pete says dog weddings are rough. No, I kid you not. I did not know that this was a thing. It's thick. Netflix, thick. I don't know why I can't remember. I was like, Survival of the Thickest. That's what it's called. Survival of the Thickest. Yeah. And her client had a dog wedding. So I was like, this is a thing? I don't know. It's just not my jam. Not for Sabs. Thank you for the super chat, Miss. Try getting Dark Journalist on. He does the best explanation, the infighting on UFO disclosure. He'd be happy to be a guest. Okay. Dark Journalist and Dr. Stephen Greer. I will check those out. I'll take the comment on Rockfin, Eric. Thank you for the tip on Rockfin, Roger. Wow, I can actually brag about something both my senators did. This is a great idea. Perhaps us New Yorkers should push Chuck and Gillibrand to also attach Medicare for all, reinstate postal banking, National Infrastructure Bank to Pentagon spending bill. We deserve a UFO call-in, Sabby, LOL. No call-in tonight. Got plans after the shows. Plans after the show. Survival of the Thickest. Check it out.